I'll show you the supported Vajrasana position, which might be a nice option for meditation. You've got 3 blankets stacked in what we call the single fold, and then you will fold one of those in half again, and then you'll just kneel over it and sit right on top. For supported seated forward fold, you'll want to first figure out how many blankets to sit on. So for many of us, it might be multiple blankets. Now you can see my spine, and you'll sit closer to the front edge of the blanket so you tip the pelvis forward and you're finding enough blankets to get your spine long. Then you can sit with your legs straddled and pull a chair in close. And then you'll set 1 or 2 blankets on top of the chair depending on how tall you are and how many you would need. And you can just cross your forearms and rest your forehead on your forearms. If it's uncomfortable to keep the legs in this position, you can bend the knees either around the chair or underneath the chair, and your knees might be in the air. So you can take blankets and fold them in half, and then rest your knees on the blankets. And you can also sit with your legs straight, and then pull the chair in and rest forward. After we fold forward, we fold backwards. And so we'll start with 2 blankets and sitting on the floor in front of the blankets. And then you'll lay back, and hopefully your head is on the blankets, and just rest the arms open. If your head is uncomfortable, you can grab a pillow or another blanket and set that underneath your head. If your shoulders are uncomfortable opening up this much, then you can set however tall of a blanket you need out to your side and put your arm on the blanket. You can bend your knees. If this is uncomfortable on your back, then you might not want to have so much bend in your back. So you can set 2 sets of blankets alongside each other. This is also good if you have a longer spine than 1 set of blankets. Start sitting on top of the edge of the blankets, and then roll down onto your back. You can keep your knees bent or straighten your legs, and you can open your arms. For a supported spinal twist, we'll take 2 blankets and open up 1 fold. Stack them on top of each other. And then it might be nice to take another blanket, open it up 2 folds, and rest that on top, but hang it off of the edge. So that'll give you a nice smooth drop over here. And then you'll sit somewhere at the edge of your blankets, lay down onto your back, and you want to roll off of the blankets just to the point where the shoulder blades and the shoulders rest on the floor, so the line of the blanket hump is in line with the armpit, the underneath part of the arm. And then you'll start with your knees bent, and just release your legs to one side. If you wanted a little bit more of a twist, you could start with your legs in the air, use control, and lower your legs. Now, a lot of us actually won't get our knees all the way down to the floor, or it might be uncomfortable to twist that much. We only want to go so far that we keep both shoulder blades evenly on the floor. Thus, you can get another blanket ready, a couple blankets, or fold it in half, and then relax your legs onto the blanket. And you don't have to twist as far, and everything can be relaxed. It might be nice to do an inversion with your legs up on the wall. A nice way to do this is to take 2 blankets, stack them on top of each other, and then set them about a foot away from the wall. Then you can take a 3rd blanket and set it perpendicular to the other blankets, making a T shape. To get into this, you can sit next to your blankets with your back against the wall. Tuck the leg closer to the blankets underneath you, elbow into your side, and then you'll just roll over onto your side, and you'll set your feet on the wall, and you want to lay on the blankets with your tailbone just hanging off the edge, so your spine is in a neutral position. You can extend the arms out to the sides. If it's uncomfortable to keep the legs straight, you can bend the knees. You can be as close or as far from the wall as you would like, whatever gets you comfortable. You can also change the amounts of blankets underneath you. Shavasana. So this is a nice supported Shavasana, kind of in a lazy boy chair, which will help keep you from falling asleep but get you nice and comfortable. You'll start with 3 stacks of blankets, and you'll stagger them so that you create a slope here. And then you can take another blanket and set it on top to smooth over the edge. You might end up wanting a roll underneath your knees, so you can unfold the blanket a little bit and then roll it up and get that one ready for your knees. You might want a blanket underneath your arm, and you may want it rolled up depending on how high you're going to want your arm. And you may need an extra blanket or pillow for your head. So let's see how this turns out. You're going to sit on the floor right in front of your contraption here, and then lay back. Extend your legs over the roll. Check and see if your pillow is in the right place. And you can put one roll underneath the arm if you don't want to open it up too much. And just relax here and breathe.